test your idea, present your idea to the customer or whoever you want to present it to, and just validate that idea so that you can go at scale. Airtime and data, of course, if you are a student, if you are still a hacker in school, or if you want to start this business, you have seen a couple of customers who resell airtime and data, and we can give you 4 to 6% depending on the volume, and you can become a reseller and give your customer some percentage out of that 4 to 6%. Now think of it this way. When you talk about airtime and data, it's a very interesting product because regardless of the solution that you're building, if people are using that solution, they'll use airtime and data, right? Which means they can use the airtime to buy data. So regardless of the solution you're building, you can try to incorporate that as an offering for your users. And what it creates is the returning customers who will see the new features, who will see the new development of your solution as they get value every single day. Lastly, we have voice. Apparently, voice is one of our growing solution. Just Q1 in 2023, we grew 4 times. That is 2020, 2021, and 2022 combined. So it's an interesting aspect to see across the world. And even for those who participated for the global TADAC Hackathon last weekend, you remember some of the solutions actually were utilizing a voice at scale. That means you can actually build a solution that utilizes voice across the globe. And those also who participated, I can see some of the people who participated for the Innovate Week in August. You saw how much that means when it comes to running county governments themselves, by people reporting incidences and recording them for listening later. Or even you can code actually an algorithm that tells you this is more important, that needs some attention. Maybe people want to report, tax missubmission. They may want to report fire, or some, criminal incidents that go on across different places. So you can see how much that solves for the general population. So let's talk a bit about our hackathon. So this summit will have 4 hackathons running concurrently with the breakout sessions afterwards, and some workshops, some interesting workshops from notable names like Ushahidi. We'll have a Women in Tech workshop, and also we'll have a workshop from Celo, who are supporting blockchain technology, and this is gonna be interesting for sure. So we look out for that. But our hackathon are divided into 4, and the reason behind this is because we realize also when developers are building, if you are good at backend, sometimes you ignore there is front end, there is the UI UX, there is the infra part of it, etc. So we have divided this into 4 to just get you through that experience. You might be a backend engineer, but also when you get that experience, then you build better solutions that are scalable. So that's the intention. And in our day 0, we are focusing on UI UX, where everything starts. But before we go to that, we try to keep our hackathon simple. This is for those who have never participated in our hackathon before. So of course, you guys arrived, you saw people, chat. Most of those people actually, they met at some point. That was their first time. They never knew each other. So we try to also create a community around it for people to build businesses together. Then, of course, we do some demos and intro. For today, we'll have one of the best designers we know across Africa. I'll introduce him shortly. We will take you through UI UX and what that entails. And then, of course, we'll have lunch break. I know you guys, you have not had your breakfast, did you? But your breakfast is ready, so that's exciting news. But please be a bit patient because we're gonna do the breakfast soon. Then, of course, you start building and continue building, and at the end of the day, we'll have people who have built winning solutions. Now, here there is no panel of judges. If you're expecting that, you are the judge. So when people present, pay attention so that you can vote for the best solution of the day. Yeah, I think we've talked about that. Also, we try to, to go above and beyond and, award some prizes. But I would like to thank our partners who have trusted us since we started this in September last year. We have Ilarian, who is part of our company, and then we have Africa Stocking, of course. Then we have Imalipe, who will be doing a workshop later, and also a payment hackathon in November. TADAC, and then we have Reddington, AWS, we have Celo, we have Paybox, and we have, I don't know what's, Is there anyone I missed? I'm not sure. So give it up for our partners and sponsors. Something else interesting, I know if it's not happening online, what do they say about it? Where is that not? They say if I don't see it online, it's not happening, right? That's what they say nowadays. So we try to recognize those people who engage online, followers and fans and attendees. So we'll be using 3 main hashtags. So CNUON, because of course we are at the University of Nairobi. We'll also use AT Summit and GUS Esports. Something else that we'll be doing for this summit is that from 6, we'll be having a FIFA tournament. So if you are good in FIFA, I think they are doing FIFA 2023. So there's some prizes to be won there after the hackathon. And also network and have a good time. So look out for that. Also include hashtag build with AT and we'll have NADS and tag at AT Community NBO, which is a community Twitter handle for the Nairobi community. And also use at Africa Stocking. At the end of the day, our social media gurus will advise us who won according to the impressions, engagement, and any other stats that shows us you are good at what you do. Thank you so much. Just to mention, our summit officially starts tomorrow with our first keynote and breakout. So if you have not saved your breakout, please go to the website summit.africastocking.com and just in any session, just click bookmark. There is a small flag there that you can bookmark. You can add it to your calendar so that it gives you an idea where it's happening or any update that is happening and remind us. Now, we'll have some volunteers who will be showing you around where these things are happening. But if you are a speaker, please keep time because that's very, very important and ensure that you're having good time. Tags, for those who registered, you'll be getting your tags by the end of the day so that tomorrow when you're coming, it's much, much easier for you in terms of access. So let me talk a bit about our communities. So we have Africa Stocking community. So if you're not part of it, you can scan that code and you will join the community. So once you scan the code, you'll see a big button that requires you to join. And from there, henceforth, you'll be part of over 150,000 developers across Africa. And our intention is to ensure that it's one Africa where you can reach out to each other, help each other, and grow with each other. So I'll take a minute for you to join the community. If you have not joined, it's just a scan of the QR code and join. Done? You need more time? You can scan the code, join the community. That's how you get to know what is happening about the community. And we're trying to keep the experience the same across 54 countries in Africa by the end of 2027. 27 or earlier. Yes. So there are some guys who went to Kampala and they had a good time. They're like, you guys are doing the same thing in Kampala. Same experience. Are they here? Any of them who is here? Not yet. Okay. Thank you so much. Then we have Women in Tech community. So if you're a lady, you want to build, you want to write code, you wanna, build solution, you can also join the community. So Women in Tech meets every last Wednesday of the month, and Africa Stocking Community meets every last Thursday of the month, except December. December, we normally have a networking party for devs. Thank you so much. Happy hacking. But before you clap for me, okay, you can clap for me, please. That's all I get. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I request you to give it up for John Mwendo, who is a seasonal designer as well as UI UX expert, and to take you just through UI UX and what it entails when it comes to building scalable solutions across the world. Give it up for John Mwendo.
Hello. Yeah, but I'm sure you can see me. All of you are on an elevated angle. So just get some more space before we start. Okay, is this how it works? Like, when someone stands here, you sort of like keep quiet, watch what they're doing, watch what they're saying, and then, okay, it's awkward kidogo. But I get it. It's my first time doing this. First time. Thank you. Nice. So I want us to go through. I want to give you a quick overview of something, but before I do that, let me just confirm we're good. Nice. So I think in as much as I'm dark, and these slides, we may not need them. Cindy, can you see the slides? Okay. Kindly help with dimming the lights up here. Ama iko switch hapa. Do we have a switch? Yeah, okay, that's not a switch. I cannot even reach there. Ni easy. Tutaka giza. Tunapenda giza. Okay, for those who don't understand what I just said it's a good day. Yeah. No, can we just switch them off? The lights. Okay, I think we just get started. So I want us to remember, so the objective of today is to basically hack. So we're into the hackathon, 4-day hackathon that is happening, and today the focus is on UI UX design. But before we do that, I have a very short clip from one of my best movies, the best movie I've ever watched. It's the best way I can ask this question, so give it a listen. Okay. Do we have audio? if it doesn't work, this is too bad. You will have missed on something. But maybe we can watch something later today. But it's the best way I can ask good morning. Either, because it has not worked, let me just go ahead and ask you, how is your morning? Is it good? All good? I know we've not had tea or things like that, but it's still a good morning, isn't it? Yeah? But somewhere up there, is it a good morning? Over there? Or maybe I should act like an MC. This side, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And good morning. Good morning. Awesome. Nice. So we'll come back to that later when you get the chance. So my name is John Mwendwa. I am a multidisciplinary designer and a founder and grandmaster at Tiscos Kenya. So at Tiscos Kenya, we offer several services, design services. We are a design-first company focusing on three things. We have Tiscos Design, Tiscos Experience, and Tiscos School. On design, we offer design services. On experiences, on Tiscos Experience, we build experiences. And lastly, on the Tiscos School, it's where we help starting designers or designers who need help to learn the new ways, something about design, however you want to picture it. And we have a session per day. So, and we always have a session, one session each month to try and close the gap and help designers. One, we might be reviewing your CV, we might be looking at your work, we might helping you advance your skills and all that. So that is me and that is Tiscos Kenya. So because I have audio right now, let us try and see whether this guy works. Well, looks like we will still skip it. Nonetheless, nice. So let us get into the objective of the day, UI UX design. Nice. Today, understand you want to build something from point A to Z, right? And yeah. Can we test? Yani, it feels like if you don't do this thing will not happen. Well, there we go. There it goes. It's our. We'll do with what you have. Aha. Someone has touched something, isn't it? Let's retry.
Good morning. What do you mean? Do you wish me a good morning, or do you want me to just a good morning whether I want it or not? Or perhaps you would say that you feel good on this particular morning. Or are you simply stating that this is a morning to be good on? All of them at once, I suppose.
Yeah, that's short. So is it a good morning or do we want it to be a good morning? What do you mean when you ask good morning, right? And as the peregrine took answers, I suppose all of them, and maybe everyone is grumpy in the morning most of the time. So that was the best way to ask that question. Nice. Back to what you are talking about. Now, you have different products, so I wanted us to look at one. Of course, we will use Figma at the end of it, but before we get to the point where you get to do the design and everything, there are a couple of things you should know or that are good to know. And these things will help you in developing your products. And so that we can look at that, we have who, what, where, how, and when. So when you look at these questions and UI UX design, they should help us at least get into everything and ease in very well into the day and into the coming days. Because most of the time, and maybe this is the interesting thing with this hackathon, as for product design. Now, The goal is to present something at the end of the day, and at the end of the 4 days, you're supposed to have a product that is working. And by working, it means a lot of things, and it also needs to be functional in a couple of ways. Now, UI UX design, now it is a combination of two things: user interface and user experience design. So, by a show of hands, how many are familiar with those two terminologies? UI UX design. How many are familiar? Okay. So, okay, let me ask, okay, how many are not familiar? Okay, how many are confused? Who cannot hear me? So I saw this short clip on the Reels. You know, when you stay at home, or rather you decide to lock yourself in the house, you know, remote devs and everything, or remote jobs, you end up being so quiet in the days that you're in the house. So at some point, this guy got to a point and then he was like, oh, just to say that, to test that there's sound and something, someone can hear it. So I just need to confirm. But no worries, I will do the explanation. So user interface design, in the simplest way to explain it, is how it looks like. And then user experience is how it works. Right? Now, I'm sure all of us have a device, have a phone, and probably all of us have WhatsApp. Now, when you look at WhatsApp, the things you see, the buttons, the colors, how the search button is placed somewhere up there. If you have GB, I don't know what that looks like. Some people have WhatsApp GB, I don't know how that looks like. But when you get into the chat, there is the small interaction, like for instance, when you type and send the chat and another message comes in, there's a function of user interface there and a function of the experience around there. And the experience basically is, for instance, someone texts you a message. You need to know that there's a message. So a notification will be shared. And then when you go on that application, two things will be happening for you to realize there's a message, right? Now, normally you have a small, I think there's a green button somewhere that tells you there's a message from this person, right? And the text is normally bolder to indicate that you should open that message, right? So that is a combination of user interface and user experience. User interface is, okay, let us make this thing become bolder, but then to complete the experience, this color will indicate what is there. For instance, on a WhatsApp call, when there's a missed call, the button becomes red, right? Sindio?
Yes.
Yeah. And then when a call has gone through, my friend, clap for this guy. Clap for this guy. This guy has said yes. at least I'm communicating. Nice. So, and then when a call goes through, you get a green button. Sindio? Right? That is what happens. Now, those are some of the things that I want us to look at, and then there's a process to try and understand how you follow these things and how you fit that in with your product. Because I think in general, UI UX design serves a couple of goals. It needs to complete a couple of things for you to be able to move on with UI UX design. For instance, if you have a product, you need to have figured out what that product is. What are you working on? So, because we are here right now, we will also do a quick session using Figma and look at and try and build a very mini application. And I think the best application to build will be for ideas. In fact, I have not figured out anything. Any idea that we can build on right now? And e-commerce, Okay, because I don't want to keep it as boring as we are looking right now. Here is how we will do it. I think we can do a dating app.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I think we can do a dating app. So we'll do a mini dating app, a Tinder, but an hackathon Tinder. So that is what we will do. That is the mini application that we will do. So before we get to the point where we are doing that, there are a couple of questions that we need to answer. What is this dating app of ours going to be called? So it needs to have a name, right? So what will we call our name? What name will you give us? Ideas. Snacks. Did I hear snacks? Kichungi. What is kichungi? Okay, I love tea. That's the best. Tea, kichungi. Okay, kichungi is a filter, right? So let's call it filter. Because you want our application to go way above. When you translate it that way, it loses its meaning. So we call it filter. So that is the name of our application. Now we figured out the name of our dating application, Kichungi or filter. Maybe we can throw in more things there to try and spice it up. So someone help me note these things down. So we have 1, it's a dating app. 2, it's called filter. Now what functionalities do we want filter to have? Or what do we want filter to do? 1, the overall goal of filter is to help you get a person, a partner. Nice. So filter will help you get a partner near you or far away from you. Sindio? Near you or far away from you? Near. So it's a matter of urgency, yeah? Nice. So filter will help us get a partner near us. Nice. So we've sorted those two things. Now, we have many applications that do exactly the same thing. Of course, we have which ones? Tinder, right? Don't pretend you don't know these things. Don't pretend. There's Tinder, Bumble, Telegram. Someone said the other day that for as long as you have an application, any application can be a dating app. Sure. I mean, as long as it has a DM feature. So let's say we have Twitter, we have Instagram, but we want to be very specific, right? So let's say Tinder, we have Bumble. You guys are afraid to say these names, eh? We list those, the two. So we have Tinder and Bumble as we'll call them our competitors, right? So we want to have ours at least do something different from what the others are doing. Otherwise, we'll just be in the same pool of competition as a business. Because at the end of the day, we want to make that application a business. So what can we do to make our application better? And what can we include? Of course, we have the swipe left and swipe right. That's a given, right? It's a filter in, filter out. Right? I think that's a good one. Yeah, our application is called filter. So for you to accept someone, it's a filter in, and then if you reject someone, it's a filter out. We have a good name, my friend. That's a good name. So filter in, filter out. So once you filter in, of course, you expect a DM function, right? Now, what does Tinder have that so the question is, what does Tinder have, or what do you not? Now this is a research bit that we are doing. So we need to do some research, and for that we'll go to the next stage where now we look at the overall process. Now this overall process at least has us coming to that process with an idea of something we want to do, and UI UX design is pretty much a process. And that is the best way for us to look at it. It's rather a methodology as well. So it starts with a couple of things where we are looking at discover, as they learn about your users. 2, we look at define, that is determine the features we want to have. 3, we have ideate, around the ideas that we all have. 4, we have the part where we get to take these ideas on a test drive. And the best practical case is on the final point, which is the testing bit. Now, this process is there, but this process is not a linear process. We don't have to follow it from step 1 to last. So, like it's not like a straight line we have to walk on to for us to achieve the things that we need to do. So, sometimes we can, and mostly say, for instance, you already have a product. I understand most of the people, by the time you're joining this hackathon, you already have a product that is ready. So, how does this make sense for you? Because you're like, I already have that UI, UX. I mean, we are waiting to kill this thing later in the evening when you're doing the presentation. So, the thing that you can consider doing is you can start by testing what you have. And normally when you test, you need to get feedback and then go back to ideation, prototype, and then test, right? And then if you've missed the mark a lot, probably, in your testing phase, you might find that, okay, then I think then I don't have a product that is working. So I really need to make sure that I have something that is working. So you might find yourself going all the way back to discover, define, ideate, prototype, and test. And the beauty of this process is that it is cyclical. It happens round and round and round. So it's not something you do once and then you're done by the time we are at test. And to give you a very good example is, I mean, the WhatsApp you have right now, it is working, right? Right? I mean, it can do everything that you want it to do. But probably later this evening, an update will be available at the App Store, right? Tomorrow you'll have an update. The day after that, we'll have an update. I mean, what are these guys updating? I mean, we have everything, right, that we need. But there's a deeper psychological perspective to that and in how a product needs to grow, right? Now, I've said a lot of nows. I have taken notes because I also listen to myself. Yeah. Either way, now. On our end right now, with filter, we are on the discovering. We've done a bit of defining of what our product needs to do, and you are at the point where we are ideating, right? Are you seeing how that process looks like? Of course, it is a bigger thing to look at than just the simple way that we are looking at it right now. But we are just looking at it right now to try and get us moving into the day, because at the end of the day, we must do UI UX design, Sindio? Yeah, and that is the other bit. So we can look at the brainstorm solutions, like what do we want this solution to look like? So one, you said you have a filter in and filter out, and after the filter in and the filter out, you have a chat function or a DM function that will help you. Once you have filtered someone in, you can start conversation with them. So the question is, what else do we need to add on to this application? So this is a part where I need your ideas, because I don't know what the ideal dating application should look like. You can help me on that part. So what should it have? What more should it have? Of course, it needs to have a premium feature, right? Maybe we can limit your filters to around 100 per day. And then if you need to go past 100, you need to pay us a premium in 24 hours. Right? Or else, wait for tomorrow. You will not find someone near you. Why? That will help our business become more sustainable, and we'll get funds to run the business, right? So now we are thinking about the product that we will have, but you also need to think about how will this product survive in the market. Because, of course, we're not helping you get people for charity or someone near you as charity. I mean, we need to pay some server fees somewhere, right? We need to pay for our own input into the work. And if that business grows, we will be hiring different teams for research, for what and what. So that is how we limit it. So now we move to the next bit, and that is the test drive, where we take this vehicle of ours on a test drive. And to do that, we'll use the available program that we all can get, and that is Figma. So we'll go on, and Figma is free, at least for a certain, with some limitations and everything. But with Figma, you will be able to, one, design your interface and prototype your interface. And after that, you can take that interface and move to the next stage where now you're doing your development. Nice. So let us jump into Figma. So Figma has two things. Now, you can use Figma. So let me just go back to the home page. So when you visit Figma, you can either use Figma on the web, so you don't have to install it on your machine. You can also use it on the web. So this is the tool that is available to everyone and that we can use. And to do that, Figma has a couple of things on its interface, and it's one of the easiest design tools for anyone to integrate with. Of course, before Figma, we used Photoshop, and after Photoshop you could use Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator, and now Figma came in and it saves the world. It started saving the world because it was easier, like Canva. If you have used Canva, you can easily use Figma. And this is the first screen you look at. Of course, mine looks a bit chaotic because it has a bunch of things here and there. And if you don't have Figma, the alternative that you can use is Adobe XD, but it's something that you must install. But it is paid for. But I think you can get a free version of it with some limitations as well. Right? So this is the application that we'll use. So when you normally come on Figma, oh wait, I switched and it did not switch. Just a second. When you're not looking behind you, this is what happens. Just a second as we launch our beautiful Figma. At the back, all good? Nice. So let me switch to Figma. So this is Figma, and so you can, it's an easy way to sign up. You can just go and check figma.com. After your figma.com, just sign up with your Gmail or a couple of other ways to sign up, and you will already, at least it will be easy for you to get started. So normally when you go on Figma, you have this left side and you have this right side. So the left side is at least now where you have more of the buttons that you might want to click as a first time, and you have one, you can create projects over here. So say for instance you have to create a new item. Once you've created that new item, you can create a document, and this is what you will have. So when you open your page, this is what you will actually have a page that is this blank. It will not have anything on top of it. So we need to first figure out what we are designing for. So the application that we are working on is one, a mobile application. At least we can agree on that, right? Or you could be working on a web application. Two different things. So to get that started, we need to introduce a frame. So a frame is the ideal page or web page that you want to do. So when you click on frame, you've gotten other options on the extreme right. And on that extreme right, you have one, it's a phone. If it's a phone, it's probably an Android, it's an iPhone, Pro Max, whatever it is. They have different screens, and all these screens work with a certain screen ratio. So let us pick Android, because I use Android. Android is okay. Or maybe, sorry if I have offended anyone that is using an iPhone. Today I will use an Android device. Yeah, you're very happy. Aye. Nice. So we're going to use an Android device, and that is what we will pick. Afterwards, you've gotten newer options on the page. Now, before we get started, ideally we are assuming you have a couple of other things ready for you to work with, and these are your brand items. Now, we are assuming you have selected your colors. We are assuming you know what your product is called, and you have a logo of some sort that needs to work with it, right? For that reason, we just need to load those items on this page. And say, for instance, you need to have picked a font that you are going to work with. So, for that reason, let me pick a guest, an account. Guest. I have many tabs on the others, so I'll switch to this. So if you want the fonts that you want to work with, say for instance you're using this locally on your machine, you can find the best font that you want to work with, and one of the best places to find that font is fonts.google.com. There's a very large library of free fonts for you to work with, and you can download, do everything and all that. So there are very many fonts over here, and the idea is to choose a font that works for everyone. Now, say for instance, we want to communicate the love language in that whole thing, in that whole application. While that it may be so, the thing is, for us, we need to find a font that is at least universal for everyone. And that is why, for instance, all the devices that you're using today come with a specific font, but some people change that font according to their own personal preference, right? And that is because we need to have a standard one for everyone, and then we can introduce a customization feature to enhance the experience, user experience for you. Are we getting that? Right? So we can find a font here, and one of the easiest fonts to always work with when you don't have any other font to use, yeah, I mean, we can go with Roboto is good. These curly fonts over here aren't the best normally to start with because they are not for everyone, right? So you can decide to pick them, or we can actually pick Open Sans. Actually, Open Sans is a good one. So if you don't have it, you can download the family and install, and then soon enough you will be able to access that font over here. And now let us try and find colors. So colors, I understand colors are one of the hardest things for people who struggle with design, and mostly developers. And because you don't want that stress, you might find yourself building a dating application that is very blue, because that is how everything is just loading. I mean, it's just HTML and CSS. So we need to find nice colors that at least, I mean, will also work. Now, in design, there are a couple of things that we consider to not be colors. They are defaults. That is white and black. In essence, they are colors, but in technically, they are not colors. And that is why your book comes with white, and any other thing that you write with comes with a different color. And then now you can introduce different modes. So for us to try and get colors, we can try and find colors from various sources, but one of the places that we can, no thanks, got it. So there's a website called Dopply Colors, and on Dopply Colors, it's one of the easiest ways for you to find colors for your application. If you're struggling with colors, you can find colors, or there's also material design. Google, come on, remind me later. Material design, colors. Some of the places that you can find colors that you can work with. So now, let us work with Dopply for now. We'll not sign up, we'll not do anything. But for instance, this is one of the places where we can find the colors that we want. So there are very many tools on this site. And say, for instance, we want color tools and explorer for design, and then you can walk into an amazing store. On tools, we have a palette generator, we have gradient generators, we have color wheels, color mixer, color converter, color harmony. All these things are here. So maybe we can go with a palette generator. And these colors are interesting, right? Okay, we have a very big ad here. Don't know if it will go. It won't go, right? That's gone. So we have a number of colors over here that we can try and work with, or we can try and generate more over here. When you click on this die, we can generate more. We can see the die down here. We can generate more over here until we are like, let's try and find a decent color. Or we can come on the color wheel and say, for instance, let us pick one, open color wheel somewhere over here. So the color wheel is a very interesting thing when you're studying colors. It can help you pick colors in the easiest way. And for instance, actually, let us just go to color wheel. Now, say for instance, we want one of our colors to be this sweet orange, right? Orange is for other things. Can we pick red? What do you think? Which color do you want in our dating app? Green. Is it Safaricom? So green, we have taken green. So there's actually a very nice green that we can work with, right? So because that looks like a challenge, we will find a green and we'll have to make it work for our application. So let us pick that green, and then after that we pick that green. Let's see, we have different modes over here. So on the color wheel, you always have one. You can pick a custom mode where you pick the colors you want. You can pick a monochromatic. A monochrome is the type of designs that have one color. So say for instance we pick green. We will work with green alone throughout our design. So that is a monochromatic mode that we can use for our colors. So, but then we want a little bit more contrast on our application. So a monochromatic one will not work. We have a complementary. Complementary, it's only two colors that complement each other. And interestingly enough, this comes with pink. Or is it purple? Is it purple or pink? Okay, let us try and find another one. So split complementary mode is actually my favorite of them all. Why? It gives us 3 color combinations to work with. So we have green, purple, and pink. Will that work? Nice. So if that works, we'll come here. When you hover, it will tell you what color code you're working with, and you can just get that. So once you click on one, ideally it should just copy. Yeah, the color has been copied. Have you seen it up there? Tap on one of the color schemes, go to your Figma. So on Figma, we need to add this, we need to pre-add these colors into our design for us to function. Once you get started, we just be moving. So we are going to pick, just a sec, need to introduce assets. Allow me to so let me just add them over here for a minute. So the first one we can we need to use local colors. So I had pre-added some colors at the bottom. So these are the colors that you can add as a library. Sawa sawa. So let's say because we have changed course, we just pick one, enter, that is the green that we have chosen. Then come back, pick the second one, copy, duplicate this guy somewhere here, copy this guy, come here, pick, add it over here. And then you pick a pink, bring it over here, and then we'll add it over here. Nice. So we have the local variables over here. So once you select this, you notice the artboard that you are working with, we are getting different modes over here, right? Can you notice that? But then if you release it, you don't have it. So we can add these colors directly into our local variables. Okay? So let me just push it over here. So variable 1, it's a color, and this is the color. Instead, right now I'll just pick it that way. Add 2, color. If I move too fast, please feel free to ask any question at any time. And then the third color over here, we pick this and get this guy. Just helps you. We can have any image, and this color picker helps you pick any color on any image. Sawa sawa. Sort of like, I don't know if you've seen that on Instagram, but yeah. So those are the colors that you're working. Now they are added. So once we get into, so we can now delete these guys. So once we get into this place and we are looking for colors, we can just click on the colors, and the colors will always be somewhere here at the bottom. So it's like we've added the assets that you want to work with. Sawa sawa. So that is one of the other things. Now we need a logo. So a logo, for starters, one of the easiest ways for you to do it. Now, if you can design it, but I'm sure today you probably don't have the whole time to do all that, or you can choose different people to do it in your groups. So, but for us to do something quickly, there are generators online, isn't it? So, the different generators, wow. There are logo generators online for dating apps, not for dating apps. So, logo generators. And please note, today we are taking a few shortcuts, but this is not the ideal process that you're supposed to be working with. Okay? Yeah. So, say for instance, a bit is called filter. One of the other things, normally when you're picking your name, you need to be sure that you can get the domain, or the domain is not in use. You cannot wake up and call our business Safaricom while there's another Safaricom, and then you cannot even also secure a domain for it. Of course, there are very many domain extensions and everything, but it's just a good way to think about it. So filter, let's say you want pink, and then you want what? We don't have very nice ones. If you see something you like, just say. Let us take something like this. So because it's like I have to sign up, and I cannot sign up, what I'll just do is I'll take a quick screenshot of one, and then I can do some illegal stuff. So assuming this is what you want to work with, so filter. What is the slogan of the business? Filter? Slogan? For this dating app, it needs a slogan. Huh? Filter, filter. Chunga? Toka soko. Yani ingia soko utoke soko. Okay. Pata potea au toka soko? Toka soko. So we can work with that. So once that looks kind of ready, think let me just launch. So because I don't want to sort of like sign up and then so I can get the logo that we all want, let me just unaingia soko ndio utoke soko. Well, if someone decides not to leave the market, well, they have to be in the market. Maybe they sell. Some people go into the market to buy. But that conversation looks tricky, so we will not go so much into that. Maybe we shouldn't have picked a dating application as the thing that we're supposed to build here. But at least it has us engaging. So we're going to pick, let me just pull that over here. So this is Adobe Illustrator. It is one of the best tools for you to create your logo using. Create. All these up. Yeah. So I'll just paste the screenshot we copied on the other side. Did we copy it? Screenshot. Just get this guy. This is all we need. This is a trick. You just paste that guy over here. Once you paste that guy over here, we just need to come and make that something else. Oopsie doops. So why logo? Why this color is different? Okay, so say what will work for us? Let's say 3 colors first, so that we can get our pink ready. Expand it. Nice. So we want these pink guys over here. So I will come in and pick this. Get that? Oops, we didn't pick what we were supposed to pick. So I'm extracting this guy over here so that this can go away. So we are remaining with this. So please do not do that. That is illegal. We have done something very wrong to get that up to this point. Nice. So we need to add the name, filter. So filter over here, expand. Just try to black. Apple come. We need to pick a nice font for it. There. So we just pick any font for now. So filter, and there we have our logo, and maybe our logo can always be this icon or this. So say for instance, our logo can, so we have different types of logos for different applications. And normally we have one, this can be our primary logo as is. Let me just extend this canvas. So this is our primary logo, and then it can also be the application icon, right? That you will also get to probably create, or it can be your favicon at the top when you're creating your website. So we need to get rid of this. So once you get rid of that, this can be our mark or icon, right? And then finally, if I think these two will work for our application. So we can use this maybe to create a splash screen. Then we can use this at the top where we have the logos, right? So we're trying to see what will work where. Because for instance, when you pick this logo and reduce it to this size, it may be difficult to see everything, right? So we have to retain the mark for it to work with that. So once these two are ready, we can export them for use. Filter and down, export 3x. Let me just make sure we're exporting the right thing. We needs to be a transparent background, so we are good. So I'll create a folder for us to work with. So it will be on my downloads, filter. Select that folder, export those assets. So right now, basically we have our logos, we have our font, and we have our colors. Are we good up to there? So basically with that, we can get started. Now, there's something we are missing that we ought to do. At least do a sketch of the thing that you want to create. And what is that thing that you want to create? It can be, say for instance, we need a landing page, we need that swiping screen. So we'll only create 3 pages. One, at least because of time and everything, for at this time we'll only create 3 pages that we will work with. So one is a splash screen. 2, we will create a sign up page, and 3, we will create the home page where after you've signed up you can filter in or filter out. Okay, nice. So let us do that. So for a second, let me just grab something here so that we don't struggle. Aha, we are back. So I just needed to grab something for this guy so that it's easy for me to work with this. Nice. So we're just going to start with our splash screen. So maybe to get you moving very fast, now you can find templates online that you can customize. I'm sure you're very familiar with that. And you can, besides templates, you can find inspiration. So let us find inspiration, and I'm taking you through the process of actually designing, and that's why I'm just going to do this. So one of the places where you can find some inspo is on Pinterest. You can also use Dribble, and you can also use Dribble, you can use Behance, you can use Pinterest. So, but for now, I'm trying to use the things that are probably mostly available to everyone. Now this is the part where I have to create that account. The thing I'm avoiding. Okay. Too bad. Okay, just give me 1 second. 1 second. John Mandua, over here. So I know for a fact over here. Nice. So we are looking for splash screen, right? For a dating application. Splash screen, inspiration, for a dating application. So this is what we have. This looks interesting, right? So we can borrow something from this as an idea. So we can try. I think we have something interesting over there. We have. So let us just work with the first one that we've seen, right? So we go back to our Figma, and there are a couple of other things that you can do to try and make your experience nice. And when you go to File, you can go and check plugins, and then you can say Manage Plugin. You can click on the Manage Plugin, and if you want free images from any online platform, you don't have to download and then bring it here and then here and then here. It's a whole process. So Figma allows you to add plugins. So once you go to File and on Plugins, you can click on Manage Plugins, and one of the tools where we get free images is on Pixels. So you can find Pixels, download and install, and once you open it, it will give you a screen where you can search for any image that you want, and then you will find that image. All right? So that is one of the other shortcuts that you can use to find the images you want. Of course, I had pre-added another one. So we also need icons to work with. So these icons are very different and they are vector. So we can always just click on, say for instance, a bell icon, and then it will show up right here. And then we can just be utilizing and adding it. Of course, right now it's white, so I may pick the purple for it. Oh, it's not working. Yeah, here you go. Here it is. So that is the icon that showed up when we got started. So when once you add it, and maybe it can be what? That color, right? So that is the beauty of these plugins. One, you can find one for icons to make your life easy, and another one for images to make your life easy. And let's say, for instance, you want to work with your own images that you have. So design is facilitated by very few things, and design has a couple of elements, and we are looking at these elements over here from these tools. We have a rectangle, a line, arrow, ellipsis, a polygon, a star, and place an image or video, right? So we have all these options. And then the other super tool that we always have is a pen and a pencil. And then you have text to work with. And that is pretty much it. And this is other place where you can access the plugins you already installed. So those are the only things you need to design anything really. You hardly need anything else. Now, the pen tool is actually only there, and it only exists to help you create irregular shapes. There are regular and irregular shapes, but that is a different class by itself. So, of course, our first thing that we want to do, we have borrowed an idea from this page. Where is it? This guy. This is the guy that we have borrowed something from, right? So this is how we will make our first page. So maybe ours needs to have what? An image of at the background. What could it have? Flower. Heart. So let's open this. Let's check heart. Let's see what we get. If you see something that you like, point at it or just shout and say, this is the thing we want, right? So, nothing really. Anything? No, this one. This one. Oh, I'm going fast. Oh, let us start. But we'll not pick that image. So we have 1 and 2, 3 and 4. We have more over here. This one. Which one? Red one. Aha, nice. So we just select it and boom, it will auto add it into the shape that we created. Sawa sawa. Okay? Not that. So we came here and picked a shape. Say, for instance, let us pick this one. If you want it to be a circle, you have to press shift. You press that and then we can say, let's pick this one. It will just fit that image into that. Sawa sawa. So that is how that works. Nice. So we've selected that. Now we need to add our logo somewhere up here, right? So for us to add that, so our pink logo will not work, but for us to confirm it will not work, let us actually test if it will work. So we're going to pick the logo from where we saved it, somewhere over here. For that, we can just drag it and come in and resize it over here. So if you notice, our logo is not very visible, right? Because of contrast. The background color and our logo will not work, right? So that is why every time, if it is a good practice, when you've created your logo, you need to create a variation where you have monochrome logos. So by that, what do we mean? So that means all our logos could be either black fully, or you can pick different colors, but these rules, okay, remember these rules can always be broken. So, or pick white. So which color will work very well for our orange? White, nice. So we're going to throw in these two guys and export two more guys over here. And export. Done. Select that folder. We are good. Done. So let us include the logo we just created over here. I think this is good. The full primary logo, because we are looking at a splash screen. So this guy over here, and then once we are in here, we can resize the guy and have him here, right? So we are moving on very well. Are we together up to that point? Yes. So good. Go back to our inspiration. What else did we need? We needed some place that can house our tagline, right? Remember we had a tagline, so we'll just throw in a tagline and something else over there, some lorem ipsum pale. So over here, we have this guy. Let us close our images. We no longer need them, so I'll just resize that, go in the middle, and everything. But then again, also remember for contextualization, if this application belongs to the Kenyan market, do you want pictures of white hands? So that is another thing. So it's always good to make your application very relevant to within the context that you're in. So we'll leave that there, and then we'll come in, pick another shape over here, and then we'll create our shape and add it over here. All good. So this shape of ours, we can give it what? One of the other colors, right? Maybe a purple, because we'll still have to reduce the opacity, but let us just have it as white for now. Okay? Now, once you have that in white, we need to make these corners a bit, so that we don't want these corners to be this sharp. Let me just zoom in. If these corners are this sharp, they kind of look boring. So for us to do that, we can either come in and drag this. See the thing you're seeing inside of this shape over here. Once we hover over here, it is the corner radius. Why? Why do you also want to use the corner radius? From various design studies, curved corners are good when you're looking at things that are supposed to be fun, right? Now, for instance, that's why your banking applications don't have rounded corners. We'll think they are a joke if they have rounded corners. in a lot of things. So that is a deeper psychological study on design. But for us, let us just throw this in. All good. And then we can come in and we can find a different mode to work with over here. If we can find that mode, we'll just have to reduce the opacity of the shape that we are working so that it becomes sort of as if it's showing something about the back. So when you reduce the opacity, that you're just reducing the it's like you have black and then you want to reduce it for it to be a bit more transparent. You're actually just increasing and reducing the transparency of the item you have because you just want to try it. And remember, one of the things with design is that design is tinkering, okay? So it's not like we have the perfect answer when we start immediately. So just increase that back again to around 50, halfway there, and then over there. So then we have to introduce what? Another symbol over here. So this is the icon that once, say you've downloaded this application has a number of pages. And of course, this is the first page you land on after you've downloaded. Normally, it gives you a sneak peek of what is this application about. And then you can say proceed or sign up or sign in. So we can add a button over here. This button of ours can at this point now be the purple that you want to work with. All good. And then let us go back to our, what is it called? Our icon pack, and look for an icon that is an arrow. So we want this arrow. This arrow looks good. So pick that arrow. There we go. We've picked the arrow. We need to center it in between these two shapes. So to do that, just select both and then we'll have to center them. And then of course, because again, black is not very visible on top of this color because both of them are dark. Contrast works this way. If I am dark, I cannot wear very dark clothes. That is the best way to explain it, right? You need brighter clothes to I will not do not go there, but you get the point. So we'll add that there, and then our new font icon can be white. Sorry, picked the wrong color. Yeah, there you go. So right there, are we good up to there? Nice. Now then you need to throw in our slogan. To do that, we have to pick our type tool over here, or our text tool, and just say, what was our slogan? Toka soko. Oh, we love nuts. Let's just say we love nuts. I don't know how that applies. Hey, we love nuts. Hey, it feels like this is a very nerdy application, but or is it our preference as the owners? Never mind. Let us just go back to Toka soko. So Toka soko, we can come in and what we were looking at the type of font that we want. So for now, I'll just use that default. We'll have to make it very black, and then we'll have to increase the font weight to something like that, maybe. And then of course the fill can be that color, and then we can introduce some dummy text here. Click arrow and start filtering. So for this one, reduce the size. Now, one of the best practices, if you struggle with the different size of fonts, one of the easiest things to do is you can use an increase starting with 2. Now, it is best practice for this body text on your application. The body text is, so when you're writing your notes, let me use the notes because I believe among people who've been to school, actually we are in a school, so everyone here knows what I'm saying. So when you're writing your own notes, nice. So we'll have to move a little bit fast, but this is one of the concepts with typography, yeah? So when you're writing your notes, you have title, or rather you have a heading, a subheading, and the body text, right? Are we together up to there? Now, your body text, the ideal body size for body text, the recommended one is 16 pixels. Sawa? Or if you're a developer, that is 1 EM on CSS. So that is 16 pixels. So that means any text that is for your body can be 16. And then your titles can be, so you need to add 2, 2, 2, 2. So 16 plus 2 is 18, right? So you can work with 18 as your, for your headings. And if you have a bigger one, you can go to 20. And then you can go to 22, 24, 26. Sawa. That way you will have a very good ratio to work with. Nice. So for this text, I will have to make it at least regular for now. So masani machache, mambo ni mengi. So for starters, let us look at our first screen that we have created, and this screen can now be can get more and more things to be added to it, but I believe because of time so this is our first screen. Does it look nice? Right? And that is because you've just taken the time to prepare some things that we need to get into that. So I think we'll do it up to here, and because we actually need time to build, what we'll actually do once we get started, I'll still be around, moving around to help you when you're stuck. There are more things that we can do on interaction. Like when you click on this page and want to go to our next page, what does that look like, right? How does that happen? Because you need to make this design interactive at the end of the day. So maybe to just demonstrate that kidogo kabisa. In fact, Figma already left the chat. I don't know if you noticed. Figma already left the chat. But I just want to demonstrate this very last thing before we start, because we'll still be working together in the next few minutes. Yeah. So let us duplicate this same page over here and remove all of these other things and introduce our icon over here. Okay, nimepick the wrong one. Juu ya haraka. Kuna watu tunaenda. Let me just be sure I'm picking the right one. Here we go. So let me assume this is our second page, right? Are we together? So that means our application has 2 pages at this point, and you need to be able to say, once you click on this page over here, once you click on this page will take you to the other one, right? So for us to do that, we need to just switch to prototype mode. So that is called prototyping. Are we together? So the prototype is over here. So we need to set this guy such that if this guy is clicked, so prototype settings over here, read large, good. Let me just pick an interaction over here. So we'll have to say, when you click on this page, navigate to this one. Sawa. So for that reason, it's just as easy as taking this arrow over here. It forms an arrow once you move on something. Are we together? So you'll just be able to select this one, and then what happens is that when you click on our prototype again, and then we select, it won't move, imekata. But ideally, once you click on this page, it will take you to this page. Are we together? So that is how we can make that interaction. And I believe at the end of the day, that is what needs to be seen, right? And then you can look at the other things. If you have your product already done, you can still walk backwards. And at the end of the day, I'm still here to help you with every step. Are we together? So, happy designing. Let's do this. Let's crash this system. Let's use Figma. Let's have fun. It is indeed a morning gone. Yeah, the morning is gone by the way. So at this point, I think I'm done, but I'm still here. Sawa. Okay, cheers. Thank you guys for your time.
Hi, my name is Jacinta Kazenzi.
And Nelson Jogona.
Today we are presenting She's Safe. She's Safe is a platform where anyone can report an incident. Our persona was a student going to Kariobangi to change her, to go and visit a friend. Simply because she had no time, she was in a hurry, she boarded a matatu that was not branded. In that matatu, she was robbed, and she didn't know she's supposed to board a matatu that is branded, so that if you are stolen for, you can say, I was stolen from a matatu called Nikosako or something of that sort. So we decided to come with an application called She's Safe, where we empower individuals to take control of their security, providing them with prompts and posting blogs that can enable them to be knowledgeable about the areas that they're going in, so that they can be more secure. In short, it's Kukarada. So this is the web platform that our users we are going to interact with. Yes, so you can get started by watching a video. Currently it's not connected, and that's our beneficial side. And then our blogs will be here, and also in the website will pinpoint you to the areas that are mostly prone to where we have received the prompts from. These are various testimonials from our users, and if you want to contact us, you'll just contact us from here. We also have where we'll be collecting data using a USSD, which we have already designed. So one will dial the USSD code, and then the code will be running in the background, and then they can either report a crime or also get a security update for the various places that are stored in our databases. Yes, after reporting the incident, one will get a notification for thank you for reporting that. Yes, that's our solution. She's safe.
Hello. My name is Elvis. I'm here representing Express Shopper. Our problem statement, let's say for example, have you ever been in a supermarket and you find a very long queue, and you have just some few items na unataka utoke ukienda. So for us, we are giving you a solution whereby we're integrating a mobile application with the supermarket systems, and then you can do a self-checkout. All you have to do is just scan a product, it will prompt you to do a payment, and then it will give you a receipt, and then you can leave. So this is how the mobile application looks. This is the onboarding process. Once you log in, you will have such an interface whereby you can select to shop. You can just click here, and then you can click here to add an item. After scanning an item, it will be displayed like this. You can add up to 30 items, and then you can select to pay. You can select a method of payment, either Visa or M-Pesa, and then after payment, it will be successful. Then you'll be back home. We are trying to integrate probably a wallet so that you can be able to top up in advance. Here is how the wallets look like. You can top up. And once appointment is done, you can also do receipting, in which it can be connected to a Bluetooth printer, and then it can print a normal receipt like the supermarket one. I think that's all we have. Yeah, thank you.
Hi everyone. My name is Hope Anjeri. I'm here to represent the team T Health, and my colleagues will introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Fauzia Omala.
Hi, I'm Faith Victoria.
Okay, so for our problem statement is most of the time when you go to the hospital and you have a condition, you'll find yourself carrying a lot of documents to the hospital, e.g. when you're asked to carry an X-ray, what else I asked for? An MRI scan, and all these documents, which sometimes are big and cumbersome. So T-Health is here to help you just carry all this information in one card. Yeah. For our UX and UI, we were able to come up with a persona, and if you look at our screen, you'll be able to see Mary Wanjiko, who is 48 years old. She has diabetes, and as you all know, diabetes is such a bad disease. You need to keep on going for checkups, and you also have to carry a lot of things like documents to show your medication, to show your last visit to the hospital, so many things. Okay, so our Mary Wanjiko is introverted and naive, and most of the time when you go to the hospital, you have to talk to the doctor and explain everything once again when you go visit. So T-Health is here to help Mary Wanjiko. She doesn't have to talk and explain all her history, since it's contained in one card, which is called the T card. So we wrote her frustrations, her fears, her needs, her goals, and why she needs T-Health. So number one, she fears getting the wrong type of medication, since maybe she forgot that she was given insulin type A, and she couldn't tell the doctor that, and then she's given another type of insulin. Yeah, that's one of the fears. Another fear is visiting a new doctor who doesn't have her background information. Yeah, especially when traveling, you need to go to the hospital, yet you don't have your records. So in this one card, you make everything easy for you. Yeah, so that's our user persona, and I know it's a product that many of us can benefit. Okay, so for this hackathon, the UI UX, you also got to build wireframes that guided us as we came up with the interaction design of our system. We are gonna share the prototype, and my colleagues will explain our prototypes. Thank you. Yeah, they're loading.
First, when you log into our application, before you log into our application, you must have an account. You must create it, and also, if you have already created an account, you can see there is a patient list. This is where the doctor can see each and every patient on the list. You can also create. You can also view all of these clients or her clients. As you can see, there are appointments, there are doctors on calls. You can also add
new patients, and he can also see all the clients, and the doctor can also see the active patients and the ones that are not active. Appointment schedule, you can see the doctor can, here is where the doctor schedules for appointment. He's the only one who is capable of scheduling the appointment. So you can see or who is next for dental checkup, for blood tests, for prenatal care, and all sorts of things. Yeah.
So here is where the patients get to make the payments. We were able to use, you can use either Visa or PayPal as your payment method.
Yes, that's our product. Any questions? Okay, so for the system, that is the user interface that is shown you is for the hospital management system. But the user is given a card. Let me show you the card we're talking about. It's an NFC card here. So you as the patient, for this case, our persona is Mary. Mary will be given this card. And this card will contain her documents. It will have her name, her medical records, history, and all that. But for the system, the doctor is using the system. Yeah, I hope that answers your question. Okay, so when you come to the hospital and the doctor has completed the part and then the pharmacist has already given you the medicine, from the system you'll be able to see the amount that has accumulated and you're able to pay. For this system, you can use M-Pesa and this other two that you've added here. Yeah. Any other question? Oh my. Yeah. Yes?
Yes, the question is how do you protect the data of the medical records?
It's very safe because to access it you need a PIN, so not everyone can access your records. You see, like how your M-Pesa PIN is your secret, the same way. You'll have a PIN. Yeah. Yeah?
What if I want to delete everything? Like, how do we do that?
That you'll have to like come to the hospital and tell them that that is what you want to do. Plus you also have to explain why you're deleting your records. This card is only that to help you not carry all the documents and not rely on your memory for your next appointment.
Because of GDPR and the protection law,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you want to delete, sure, you can. And you can also give up the card anytime. Yeah. Yes?
How will this one ensure that there's efficiency? Let's say a number of patients have got different issues to some their health issues.
Mm-hmm.
And the system had to be updated. How can
Come again?
Okay, let me give a scenario.
Okay.
Whereby client of that hospital, most of them have
Mm-hmm.
health issues.
Mm-hmm.
And for their medical record, they have to be updated when they come up with the new system.
Yeah.
How will this one create efficiency? Because that will be a burden to the hospital.
You see, this card, the way you're accessing it, when we come to the infrastructure hacking day, we are going to show you how it works. It's IoT powered. You just have the NFC, and what the doctor has to do is tap. The moment he taps or she taps, the information is shown qua system. The moment you have new information, the same way, you just tap and you add information. We'll show you that day when you're doing the infrastructure. Yeah. Is that good? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
And we all know how culture is the backbone of the country, but we rarely do focus on fish farming and aquaculture. So our solution is based on aquaculture, and it is IoT powered and machine learning around. So it's called aquafisheries. Aquafisheries is about helping the fish farmer regulate his fish and the temperature, the oxygen, the pH of the water, and everything around growing the fish in the farm. So my name is Winfrey, and my colleague is called Naftali, so he's going to take us through the UX UI design.
Yes, good evening. Nisanga. Karibu niseme good morning. Good evening. Yeah, so my name is Naftali Makori. So as she's talked, this is aquafisheries. So point of view, there's a fisherman in Kisumu called Timon, and he's wondering what is happening to his fish in Lake Victoria or his fish pond. So this is why we come up with aquafisheries. So these are basic application. So obviously when he signs in, so we have this interactive map interface. So in his phone, he's able to track his fish ponds, and he's able to see the progress of his what is it called, fish pond. So obviously she talked about oxygen levels, because oxygen in the water is very critical. So this is where now IoT technology comes in. And also we have the coordinates and the analog data. So Timon doesn't feel like going to the fish pond and fishing the fish physically. So in future, we will integrate now. You see this button over here. Timon, we just say open food gates. So there's a place where this fisherman just ana refill hii chakula ya samaki, and then they can set a schedule. For example, on Saturday 28th of January 2024 nataka nitoe chakula. So instead of like anaweza kuwa amesahau like to click this button. So in the future we'll just automate this process. So, and that's it for the solution. If you have any questions, kindly ask. Thank you. Any questions? Going once? Yes.
Okay, I understand that. So like for the other presentations that I've seen, it's like there's more, there are more screens. Can you hear me?
Na struggle.
Yeah, there are more screens, and I understand probably also because of time.
Yeah.
But I think it's like the screens you've shown us. Is that everything? Yes.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that because I think it's very interesting. Like before, but we can have a chat later on.
Yeah.
What you guys can do.
Yeah, there's a reason why you just make this application simpler. You know, Timon hataki kuzumbuka sana. Hey, what is going on with this application? So we just try to make it as minimalistic as possible. Yes.
Let's say I'm the Timon.
Mm.
The number of fish in that fish pond.
I can't hear you, Timon.
Let's say I'm the Timon. I am now. Can I know the number of fish that are there in the fish pond? cage that I'm rearing the fish.
I also forgot to mention that. Yes.
Will I know?
Yes, you will.
In kilogram.
Wacha mwebato na kusaidia anisaidie na kujibu hii swali. Yes, Winfrey.
To answer your question, this data that is also being collected, it's working in real time. So you're tracking the growth of your fish, like, because there's also, when we mentioned it's IoT, it's around IoT, it has sensors to also show you how your fish are inside.
If one is dead, you literally a fish died, has died.
Well, I don't think it will, but it will show you because it has sensors. It has sensors. It is because it is IoT powered.
Let's say fishes usually sometimes you find them in a corner resting. There are few fishes in the pond. Sorry, in the pond. Or
Yeah, it will, because it's working with the real-time data that is there. Yes, it's there.
So, Amodi Timon. Timabel. Now, in these fish ponds, so you can see you are able to track your fish pond, right? So each and every fish pond has GPS, right? So which means easy sensors zote, they are also within the fish pond. So from the data that you'll be getting from a fish pond, you'll be able to know like which fish has died. And then rarely you'll find your fish dying because it has enough oxygen, you're giving it enough food. So yeah, we're regulating temperatures, everything. So rarely you'll find your fish dying. Sasa, yeah, mingia. Any other question before we close it up? Yes.
So assuming Amodi Timon is now is in Nairobi, Amodi Timon is in Nairobi, then let's say he has tracked his fish pond, and then by mistake let's have power outage in the area. Then that means that the oxygen levels, the temperatures, there's no one there to go and control them manually. So are you going to show that maybe the oxygen levels are falling down? And that means that you have like two hours to have this fish, the trout. You know the trout, they need the fresh water to come out. So he has like 2 hours to rectify the situation. How does he do that?
Part of our solution is it's also solar powered. We didn't put the prototype, but we have the pictures of the prototype right there because this is UX UI, but it's also solar powered. So before your 2 hours, you'll be given a notification using, when you are working it out with Africa Stocking, it sends you messages and it gives you notification that power is out. It's beginning to pump using solar power. Yeah. Yes. Yes. We can't hear. Yeah, we can't hear.
Okay, I have 2 questions.
Yes.
First, the disease and infection is prone to any living organism. And for that reason, using the IoT system that you said, how does it monitor the disease and infection and then fingering draft bones? The second question, how do you solve the issue of security in terms of washing and any other thing that may interfere with the fish? Because GPS cannot solve security issue that is natural, for example,
Okay, to answer your first question, which is when you said living organisms are prone to infections. Well, when you're working with real-time data, you can also track the growth, right? It can let you know that this is, like if you carry the trends, let's say you're used to seeing 10 fish on Monday. And then on Tuesday, they're 10. Then on Wednesday, they're like 8. By Friday, they've gone all the way to like 5.
That one is dead, not infection.
But well, have you not noticed the change hapo katikati? Ama zinakuwa
Sorry?
I'm talking about the infection does not kill you.
Mhm.
You are still there.
Mhm.
If you are 10, you still remain 10. But if you die, you remain 9. So you are answering the question of death, commodity asked.
No.
Okay, just come up with the solution.
So, currently, what you are able to track within the fish pond is just the data you're getting from the fish pond. You have not focused on like the disease and what you're talking about, because you can have 10 fish, haujui kama ziko healthy, haujui gani ni si healthy, na bado zi survive. So which means you're not able to know gani ni mgonjwa na gani si mgonjwa. That one we haven't focused on it yet. So that one you can integrate it as a new solution. Thank you for that. And then there's another question that you asked. Security issues like nature-wise, right? So for example, kuna vultures. So obviously, fish cage, utapata a fish pond, kuna cage, obviously. So I think fish pond si kama like a lake kivyake hivyo. So fish pond ni hivi kivyake like taelezewa je. Iko na cage, in short, simple. Siko sawa? So I think that's it. Maybe I left someone else.
I think I have.
Yeah.
The last one.
Sikuski.
I'm saying, like he was saying, as we the efficiency, and identify the sickness which the suffering.
You can do research on that.
Thank you so much. Give it up for the team.
I'm Jimmy Kimuni. I'm having issues connecting my PC with HDMI cable, so I'll just describe the project. So what we were planning to do was to solve the issue of, we live in a world where everyone is trying to go to the future, but we try to forget our roots and culture. I think if I ask a lot of people here to trace back their culture, some of the practices that they were doing, some of the heritage in their culture, I'm sure we could not get such a detailed information. So what we were trying to do is, we were trying to preserve the culture that the African community has, and we were trying to bring up the different communities in the country, in the African region. So we have the Maasai in Kenya, the Yoruba in the western parts of the world. We were trying to create an archive where people could come and share and provide content about their culture, so as to preserve everything that we have about our roots and culture, even if we try to advance it to the future. So does anyone have any question or any inquiry? Build a platform where everyone from any part of Africa they can come and share their culture. So one of the most prominent cultures in Africa is the Maasai. Some of them are also the Yoruba. So when you look at our homepage, we have the Maasai. We have something short and intriguing about the Maasai, something short and amazing about the Yoruba. So we also have a couple of cultures here. We were trying to accommodate every region in Africa, from the northern part to the southern part. I'm sorry about the Figma design. I've never used Figma before. So one thing about the description, you can come. If you are part of the Maasai culture, you can check out the Maasai. If you are part of other cultures, you could also check them out. And there's also, you could also sign up through an authentication. Yeah, so that's it.
Hello everyone, my name is Collins. Good evening everyone, I'm Gamaliel.
Hi, I'm Angela.
Okay. So my name is Collins. Apart from writing software, I'm a part-time tour guide. So what I do during the part-time is I take people who are foreign into Kenya, into different places in my neighborhood. So I take them to these art galleries these restaurants and also these places where we have these amazing clothes. So for the first few months, we've had a challenge whereby these people who are coming to Kenya are unable to do transaction in Kenya simply because they don't have access to our payment infrastructure. And some of them, if they do, they come with their currencies, and this giving these local business people some difficulty in exchanging them to Kenyan shilling. Imagine you have your clothes boutique, then somebody buys a shirt, then you are given, let's say like 2 USDs. Then you have to go to the bank, convert it. So here we have the transport cost to the bank, and also we have the exchange rates which are going to be deducted. So we decided to come up with Geni in English, which means foreign. So what Geni does, it allows foreign people to access our payment infrastructure. So what I mean by accessing our payment infrastructure is, for example, this person is from UK. So all this person is going to need to do is transfer his money from the card to our platform. Then from there on, the person can access M-Pesa and Airtel Money. So what I mean by this is this person can be able to transfer money from our platform directly to your M-Pesa or to your Airtel Money. Also, this person will be able to receive money from your M-Pesa or Airtel Money to the platform. Then once they're done with their visit in Kenya, they're able to take the money back to their card and go on their daily business. So with this, we found out that this is going to enable more business to thrive and also benefit from the tourism and also from the foreign market who are coming to visit the Kenya. So my friends are going to take you through the UI UX of this application.
Good evening again. So before I start presenting, follow through. I want as many questions as possible. Okay, you ready? So as we start off, so the first step will definitely be authentication. So a user will sign up. So this is Mzungu. So this platform is supposed to help the Mzungus without needing to have an M-Pesa number. They can use the platform to transfer and receive money easily. Assuming they're coming for a period, let's say of a week or 3 days, they don't need to get another M-Pesa number. So from here, once they sign up, they can sign in definitely. Then the next part immediately after they have signed up is adding a card. So they can add their normal Visa or MasterCard or American Express, whatever card they have from to the platform. Then the next step is definitely adding the card information, fill in the card information. Then once it's done, they can now go to their user dashboard. So from the user dashboard, there are a number of things they can do. They can top up now in our platform, they can top up our account with whatever currency they have to Kenya shillings. So what happens is they just come, top up, choose the card they've added to the platform, then enter the amount they want to add to the platform, then top up. Once it's topped up, it will show it in the dashboard. I think we just missed that one part. Then once they've topped up, so assuming they have gone to a Kibandaski, and of course they cannot pay in Kibandaski, they cannot pay in dollars. They will pay with Lipa na M-Pesa or Pochi la Biashara. So what happens is they can go to transfer, then they can enter the phone number of the mama wa Kibandaski, the amount of the cost of the chapo, and then they can send money. So once they've sent the money back to successful payment, then back to their wallet. So from the wallet, they can see the amount, the balance they have in the wallet. Then we also say they can also receive money from anybody who has an M-Pesa number. So what happens is they can come and click and select receive, enter the phone number. So whoever wants to top up to kuwarushia kakitu, they can come, add their phone number there, the amount they want to receive, then they can initiate a request. So this will send a request to whoever that user is to prompt them to enter the M-Pesa PIN, which just makes the payment a bit seamless. Then they can check the status of the payment, and then if it's successful, viola. So yeah, I think that's our presentation. If you have questions, I'm expecting questions. Thank you. Very important. We have our exchange rate platform, so they can monitor. Yeah. I will have our own, but of course we sync it to the CBK. There are rates.
And the transaction, so one will be cardwise because you change first you change the money to Kenya shilling. Then for the payment, you have card.
Okay, so we do not intend to do the entire exchange ourselves. We'll be using Stripe. So Stripe will be dealing with the payments and the exchange rates. So ours will just be receiving the money and forwarding it to the client. Yeah.
Questions?
Awesome. So I think you've done a very comprehensive design. There are a few things that we can have a discussion after that to just try and streamline. Now, okay, so I'm trying to understand your offering. I can sort of get to understand the screens that you're looking at, right? So, for instance, why do we have an exchange rate here? Is it just to show it at the end of the day? That is just an interesting question because then top up and then you have a card that you're adding. So, and then you have a wallet. So I'm trying to reconcile those three things in a way that sort of makes the application straightforward. Understand. Say for instance, I'm Kenyan, I'm just another Kamau. The Kamau goes to Uganda. I need Ugandan shillings. So, and then I will add my card, which is probably in Kenyan shillings, right? And I just need to pay someone. So the question is, why? So, I mean, it's probably something I'm using for that period that I'm in travel, right? So I'm asking myself at that point, it's still a good solution. I'm not throwing anything outside. See that? So the question is, I'm adding my card. I can just use it to pay directly, right? So why do I need to top up the wallet? And is the exchange rate there as something for me to see? Or is it there so that when I'm topping up my wallet, I'm trying to understand those things.
Oh, thank you. Let's say, for example, you're coming from, let's say, Uganda to Kenya. So the exchange rate table is there to enable how much how much rate you are working with. Let's say, for example, you have 200 Ugandan shillings. So if you convert it to Kenyan shilling, let's say 1 Kenyan shillings equals maybe 20 Ugandan shillings. So with that, you're going to be converted in how this amount has been arrived. So with the card payment, what we are doing, we're just taking the money from the card to the platform to enable you access the local transaction infrastructure. Let's say, for example, in Kenya, once you have your money in the infrastructure, you can transact with Airtel user and Safaricom M-Pesa users.
Okay, nice. So you've answered the question very well. So I'm just thinking what would probably be better. We're trying to think about that whole scenario. Because then when I'm traveling again, I may have to, when I'm going back to Uganda, I may probably be worried about my balance. And then I need to sort of convert it to something else, right?
Yeah.
So I would suggest that, of course, now maybe you can keep the exchange rate there for me, someone to see. But then when it comes to the transactions, it can be something that you're converting in the background because you're already telling someone this is the exchange rate that you're working with.
Yeah.
So that then I'm confident and not worried about having money in a wallet in the denomination that I will not be using back at home. Yeah. Just thinking.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any questions? I think we're good.
Nice.
Thank you.
Next team.
Jackson. I'm representing Team X, a group of gentlemen and one pretty lady. Hi, Mronji. We're presenting to you Booked, a platform where you can book a slot in the queue as you wait for your turn. You get notified when it's almost your turn, so you don't really need to be present. I know you're probably wondering why someone would want to use Booked, and systems like banks have their own systems where you can get a slot at your queue. But imagine at the comfort of your place, maybe you're in your matatu, you book a slot, and then ukifika, you just get served. It can be used in, there are several use cases, maybe banks, supermarkets, hata vinyozi, and then ikikaribia turn yako and you're not there, you can skip a turn, ama the admin can remove you. Yeah. My friend Miles will take you through the UI. Thank you.
So, hi guys. Our use case is Gitonga. So Gitonga needs to get, his tires serviced. Well, not his tires, but the tires to his car. So he wants to visit Jamhuri Motors. So Jamhuri Motors will be having a QR code. So when Gitonga scans the QR code, this is where he'll come. So he'll get the services, the list of services, and now Gitonga wants to service his tires. So when he clicks on tire services, he gets this form where he gets to fill his name, his phone number, and probably the preferred service time that he wants. So once he does that, he can now queue. And when he queues, he'll be told there are 10 people waiting in line, and the estimated waiting time is probably 12 hours, 12 minutes, whatever it is. So if Gitonga feels he's satisfied, well, he can go on to book a slot in the queue. But if he doesn't feel he's satisfied, he can cancel this session. But Gitonga feels like this time it's good enough for him. So he books a slot and he's told your ticket number is A54. But now we're talking about Gitonga who is at home. Maybe he might forget that he booked a slot at this certain time. So he can choose this option to get an SMS reminder, which will remind him 15 minutes to his appointment that he has an appointment at Jamhuri Motors where he needs to get his tires serviced. So that's my demo. Thank you. If there are any questions.
My question is,
my question is, the time I display, sometimes when I can book a slot for probably, I'm told, is in the next, how many minutes?
Well, we've written 12 minutes, but it's not really practical.
Because it's at home, let's suggest in the next 3 hours. So sometimes when you book a slot, it happens that some of the guys who are prior tend to cancel their let's say their booking. So the time will change. Giving this example because I've seen probably when trying to reach to KRA, there is that issue where there is that you have to go to a timer like that one, then it changes, you may be told 20 minutes, and in the next 5 minutes, it's 2 minutes, because some people maybe have cancelled their booking. So I'm wondering how will you solve that issue? If, for example, book 3 hours, then some people back out and I get to 1 hour. And then you have to send the message using around 15 minutes to forward it. So how will you solve that issue? Since I was booking for 3 hours later, and probably have something I'm doing. and now your 20 minutes, 15 minutes time, probably it may change due to other people's movement, and probably in the next 20 minutes.
Thank you. So we thought about that, and if such a situation finds you, we've not added it because we just thought about it when we were about to come. So you'll get an opportunity to reschedule or get another position in the queue. If you feel like the time that is now allocated to you will inconvenience you, you get an opportunity to like reschedule. And then when you reschedule, you won't go to the bottom of the queue. So you'll sort of be privileged, sort of. That's why you have like the preferred service time there. So you'll be privileged according to the preferred service time that you give.
So, meaning that if I say 3 hours, I will be able to start 3 hours, 10 hours.
Yeah. Any other question, suggestion? All right, thank you.
There are a couple of things that we can improve on the UI before you sort of like get to proceed on the development. And basically, I wanted to give an overall one, but maybe let me just highlight this here. The items are very slim in the middle of the phone, and we have a very big device, right? So that can be a bit awkwardish, and it can be, looks like without space. So, but then it's something that we can just use that we are noting for usually most of the designs that we are looking at, but then it's something that we can look after even if it's tomorrow or we go on. The goal is to continue improving. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
So my name is Daniel. Okay. Yeah, my name is Daniel. My team name is Rectifier. For now, I'm only one, but hopefully with time, I'll find followers. Or team members, sorry. Anyway, so the case is a platform where you can find all the services you need. Okay, by services I mean like plumbers, electricians, gardeners, cleaners, everything that you need under one platform. So the twist is that it will operate using AI. We'll use AI to get all the requirements that we need from the customer, and then now from there we'll recommend the customer a price and somebody they can hire for that specific service. So over here I have the homepage. So now from here the customer will be able to type in what they want to fix. Maybe like the TV is broken, then they'll press chat. Okay, so from here now it's the chat interface. So let's say I'm at home and then my socket is not working. So now I'll just come and enter a message down here, and then I'll get a response from the AI, but I'm not sure if you can read. Okay, that's unfortunate. So I'll just read it out. So the response is, I'm sorry to hear that one of the sockets in your house is not working. I can help you find a qualified service provider to address this issue. Are all other sockets in your house working correctly? Then I respond with yes. So now the AI will now say, okay, we will get you an electrician right away. Then searching for an electrician near your location. So over here you'll have a map, and then hopefully you'll have this nice animations like for bolts. then it zooms them up. Then you can see everything. Yeah. So now once it finds a person, it will recommend that person down here. Then you'll be able to see the approximate price based off of the information you've given. So now once you click on the person that you want to hire for that job, you'll be able to see some more information like their rating, the number of jobs that they've done, and maybe if like there's a discount or something like that, then you can hire them. Okay, so for this solution, I've just covered the tip of the iceberg. There's still a lot of work to be done on it, like to manage the users on the platform. By users, I mean like plumbers. They need to have their own interface where they can register. And then now they sort out the prices per hour, maybe if they're charging per hour, or if they need some items which like they need to replace, like a socket. So now you need to gather all those metrics, and then now, based off of those metrics that the user has provided, we'll feed that information to now an AI model, which will gather the input from the customer. Then based off of that input, it will do a prediction of what the service is. Like let's say if I put an input in that previous screen, like I need a gardener, the AI will now predict that I'm looking for a gardener. Then it will list the required information that I need to retrieve from the customer. And then based off of that information that I've retrieved, I can now recommend people that the customer can hire for that specific job. Okay, I'm not sure if that was understood. Yeah.
I like the idea, but what I will add is I think it's also, although I don't think it will sort of thought of this as, there is also a problem that I know such a thing can solve. Consider how like developers are paid. So you will charge for a certain thing, you charge me probably 4,000, the other guy charges me 10,000. And I was thinking of it as in between countries, considering a country like India where there is like a pool of so many guys with IT like skill, and so they are like underpricing so that they can be able to get jobs. But it can also help in trying to like standardize how much you need to pay a guy. So in the terms like a plumber, instead of one saying because he's in a different region asking for 200 and the other one asking for 200, there like can be a standard where everyone who does this, their minimum wage is this. So like it can help these guys to like have a starting point of how they are paid.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion. Also, another thing that might be affecting those prices is like the cost of living in that specific area. Like in the US, the cost of living is higher, so of course things will have to be high in price. Whereas in Kenya, things are cheaper, so things will be relatively cheaper. But that's a good point. You can put some geolocation mapping or something of the sorts.
So that's a good idea. I'm a follower.
Thank you.
Okay, according to the idea you've given here, it's a good idea, but if we do comparison with gold, they're more or less the same. but how will you deal with whereby I want to book for the electrician and the prices that you've set is not good for the electrician personally? Absolutely, he will come and then he will raise the prices, just as the same way the drivers for Bolt always do. How will you deal with this situation? Because it's already in the market and we see it happens.
So if I've understood your question, it's about setting competitive prices for the different people who are enrolled in the system. Is that what the question is about? Or maybe, okay, so in order to do that, then, of course, as he already mentioned, then we'd be forced to put a standardized rate of charging for these different services, because of course if you're using this platform and you're saying one person is charging 5,000 for one service and another person is charging 2,500 for that same service, of course the person who's charging 5,000 will attract less people. So I think in the long run it will balance out itself, because the workers themselves, they'll adjust the prices according to what they feel like they can be earning from this system. So like, let's say if today I'm charging 2,000, but I'm seeing the competition everywhere is charging 3,000, then I'll have the peer pressure to up my prices to 3,000. But if everyone is charging 4,000 and I'm charging 5,000, then also I'll feel some pressure to lower my prices to 4,000. So in short, the market will just balance out itself.
Okay, on the other hand, there's a situation whereby you will be dealing with different people and you will be regulating your prices and availability in terms of commission basis. And you will find whereby the person who should give me the service will decide to deal with the customer directly. Is there any user preference where you cancel the placement and I deal with the customer directly? In this case, you will go at a loss. How will you deal with this situation? And is there a restriction for that?
I think with time we can solve this using a data-driven approach, such that now if we have, let's say, Jeroge is a plumber, but every time he gets an order, he cancels that order. So you'll be able to see he's gotten 10 orders, but he's only completed one. So maybe there's some fraud going on with Jeroge in that situation. So maybe you can suspend him, or we send him like a warning to stop that. Yeah. Is there any other question or there's a question up there?
I'm not sure, maybe I missed it. So the issue mainly was with security. You know, when you're doing, say, plumbing or electrical in someone's home, people tend to be wary of it because, you know, thieves and all. So how will you validate these plumbers and what system will you use?
I think for that we'll need to come up with a vetting process, background checks. I'm not sure if any of you have interacted with platforms like Workday. Okay, so basically on a platform like Workday, I can set up the questions I want to ask and information gathering portal, where now I'll be able to gather your all those details, your birth certificate, your location of residence, then maybe your ID, maybe KRA PIN, and then now we pass that information onto our background checking agency. Then now maybe then they can validate all that information, and then now we can be able to vet whether this person is trustworthy or not.
Which brings to the second question now on the security of the app. So you are asking for all these details.
Yes.
And in the modern world now, like, people tend to be wary of it, personal data and everything. So what steps will you use to protect the data of the plumbers, the electricals, the service providers?
Okay, that takes us to some more legal area, which I'm not very qualified to answer. But anyway, in the technical aspect, of course, you have to make sure our databases are safe, our servers are secure. And then now we work with the legal team to ensure that all our policies are also up to standard. And then now from there, we now work on the PR aspects. Like, we need to make the public feel like the data is actually secure. Not like with Facebook. Facebook all the time you feel like they are watching you. Yeah, we need to avoid such a circumstance. Yeah, but it's a good pointer to be cautious of. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Grant, for the...
Evening.
My name is Emma. We are here with my other team members.
Hello. My name is Peter.
Hello, I am Kudra.
Hi guys, I'm Grace.
Oh, so this is our team. It's called Lima Plan. What we are working on is, like, you see, in the recent past, there has been a change in weather patterns, right? So what our team does, we notify our farmers, because most farmers are old, so they don't have the luxury to go Google something like and then look at the weather forecast for like the next 30 days to plan their rainfalls. Plus, there is a surge in fake seeds planting. So what our platform does is that here, once you register, you come here, get started, you come log in. If you have not logged in, you can sign up. After signing up, this is our mission and vision. And then why choose us, as in what we provide farmers with legit seeds and other agri-products to prevent farmers from, like, let's say my parent is one guy who was affected. He planted a whole 2 acres with fake seeds, which came to germinate and provided a poor harvest. So what we do, we buy our seeds and other stuff from legit suppliers, and then we give it to farmers at an affordable price. And then accurate focus and smart farming. Here we use AccuWeather, the API. We use it on our application. We will send the farmer an SMS notification. Like, let's say if it's in August and it's a planting season, and the rain, like, let's say the rain is delayed for some time, we tell the farmer. We'll use Africa's Talking SMS API to tell the farmer that, hey, the rain will be delayed for some time, so, like, don't plant. And then when it comes to time to plant, to tell him it will rain in some, like, let's say in the next 15 days, so that the farmer can begin planting. And then here, this is our product pages where we'll be selling our seedlings and other legit products. And then here is the checkout page once you order your products. Any questions? There is none with a question, right? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And the winner is, okay, should we start from the top or from the bottom? Bottom. Start from the bottom. Bottoms up. Bottoms up. Yeah, the second runners up is hey DJ bwana. Hakuna mtu anatafuta hiyo kama career au something. Kuna mtu. Comrades, mnalala njaa na kuna kitu naweza fanya for a living. Kwapi comrade? We are comrade. Sawa. Second runners up is TL. TL wapigia makofi ya kilo. Very nice, very nice. Wanafuatwa na first runners up. Are you ready? Are you ready? Geni wapigia makofi yao. Pata kitita cha shilingi 5,000 wale wa TL. Thank you. Pegi fanya kitu pale. Si vile unafanya maneno mazuri. Hiyo ndio umetuwekea. Thank you so much. And the winner is, are you ready? Yes. Are you ready? Yes. Without further ado, Rectifier. Yes. Thank you so much. Good job. But it doesn't stop here. So whatever you have just designed today, tomorrow you have a chance to learn a few nuggets from our full stack team. We are nuts.